Hey everyone, it's Richard Payne here from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles at EXP Realty. And today it is the start of the new week. It is the beginning of October and therefore it is time to get into the stats. So you need to know what's going on. If you've got anybody that you know who is actually in the Halifax area, you've probably got a good idea as to what's been going on. But we want to see exactly what's been going on. And right now we are sat outside one of my favorite little coffee shops, these guys here in parts of Bedford West. Gives you a clue as to kind of what's going on, but there you go, a little bit of coffee to keep it going this morning. But let's see what the stats is exactly doing for the month of September. Hey everyone, so the big question is what's been going on, because it is still a crazy market here in Halifax. We still have the multiple offers, we still have over asking price, we still have to get in there real quick to actually be one of the properties, or at least look at the house, decide if it's one of the properties that you actually want to buy. So that's the basic detail. But we are now in the start of October, so we're looking definitely as to what happened in September and the previous months. And that's one of those things that we're looking at, because my stats are right here on this little piece of paper. So let's give you the details. So if we look at the average selling price, because hey, that's what we're all really interested in. Average selling price was $397,500. Coming off last month's high, which was up at $422,000. So we've definitely cooled down a little bit in terms of price. And there's always some anomalies, a few spikes in terms of price and everything. But let's compare it to last year, because that's the key thing. So we look at the same month last year, $349,500 was the average price then. So we are up 14% on last year. Now let's get into the other bit. So we sold 694 homes. That's plus 44% on last year. We have 824 homes active, which gives us 1.2 months of inventory. Not a lot. In a nutshell, we need more listings. Now, here's the other side of it. So when you look at the sale to new listing ratio, we're at 102%. So if we sold 694 homes, we probably listed about probably a little bit less than that, maybe 680 homes. So that gives you a clue as to what's going on in the market. Is once homes comes up for sale, we are basically having them sell pretty much instantly. And that goes hand in hand then when we look at the days on market being 36 days. That was 60 days last year. So like more or less half the amount of time for properties to be on the market. Months of inventory, so 1.2 is where we're at. That was 3.4 last year. So you can kind of get the feel as to where 3.4 months was a really good number for here in Halifax. But now 1 month, 1.2 months is more like the norm that we're actually expecting here. Sale to listing price ratio, 101.8%. So that gives you the idea of the multiple offers are still going on. We're still paying over asking price. And I think that's it for the basic details. So now let's get into some specifics, because I always like to give you just a little bit of a hint as to which are the performing markets. And we're back to kind of a little bit more of a normality. So when we look at the number one performing market in terms of sales, we're back to Sackville. 76 homes sold, 0.6 months of inventory, 0.6. 31 days on market. Here's the interesting one. Lower Sackville has always been the starter market. It's always been the kind of 250 kind of range. Yeah, not anymore. $310,617. So let's call it $311,000. But that was our starter market, and now we're up to $311,000 there, and it's 103.5% listing to sale ratio. So it's all about the multiple offers. It's pushing up, and that's kind of like the starter market. So now let's look at number two. Number two is Timberley, Prospect, St. Margaret's Bay area, Upper Tantallon. 75 homes sold, 1.2 months of inventory, 60 days on market, so a little bit stretched out, a little bit longer. $451,500 average selling price, 100.9%. So let's call it like sale to listing is about the same. And then number three, we are back to Bedford, which is where I am now, Parks of Bedford West. This is one of the areas here. 68 days on market, 1 month of inventory, 55 days to actually sell your property, $576,713. But interesting, 98.9%. One of the few markets that's actually less than 100%. Now, yes, we know there's new builds in here because Parks of Bedford West, where I am now, is practically all new builds. Maybe there's some resale houses for ones that are like kind of 2 to 5 years old, something like that. So that's definitely going on there. But now when we look at let's look at my market, Fall River. 1.8 months of inventory. Hell, we'll take that any day of the week. It's one of those things, is like, it's my market, so of course I want the area to go up in price, but equally we're trying to find people homes in those areas, and it's getting a little tougher. Average selling price there, $458,000. Now let's talk about the slowest markets, because we've got kind of two markets that are a little bit slower. First one is Halifax South. Slow market, Halifax South. Average selling price there though, $907,000. What have we got? We've got 15 houses sold. We have 2.3 months of inventory. 2.3 months of inventory sold. It was 3.4 months on average last year. And then we also have Upper Sackville Beaverbank is also one of the slowest ones at 2.3 months as well. Now theirs is a 400 in change on an average selling price up there. So, they're still decent markets. They're just like, it's crazy. 2.3 months, we're calling it slow. That's still a seller's market. So that's what it is. That's kind of how we've now rationalized how the market is right now. But if you've got any inclination about what your plans are this year, that's September, and we are doing so much better than September last year. So, one of the big things that everyone's always asking is like, how's the market? Is it going to slow down? I don't think so. Like, we're not seeing any indications of properties basically slowing down in terms of the buyers. We're still working with plenty of buyers who are looking out there now. But that we love to educate people. We love to help them find the right areas, the right neighborhoods, find the right house. So if you've got a friend, a family, a co-worker, a colleague, hell, even if your dog is moving over here, we'd love to help them find the right place. So details are all at the bottom of the screen and coming right up now. But those are the stats for September this year, 2020. Basically a lot better than last year by roughly double. So a lot less inventory. Average price point is pretty good. So yeah, Halifax is doing well. And that's it. So we will get in touch with me, or you can get in touch with me anytime you want to find out any of the details, and we'll give you all the answers, give you all the information you need.